So now for something entirely different. Maybe instead of looking at incredibly harmful decisions at first, we're going to look at incredibly stupid decisions, or at least opinions. So, let's go ahead and begin with a segment from Bill Maher. Now, this segment has been getting a lot of traction lately. A lot of conversations have been stirred up about this, and I figured I'd go ahead and throw in my own 2 cents. Although Emily the Fennec did just redeem an "oh whoa," so I guess you're gonna have to cringe at me going "oh whoa" in the actual video this time, instead of in anything else. Bill Maher, take it away, buddy. You have opinions on something, and I want to hear them.
You think someone 80 is hopeless because they can't use an iPhone? Maybe the one who's hopeless is the one who can't stop using it.
So, let me go ahead and say this. Yes, there is an over-reliance on technology. There is, but maybe it is also the case that there are several people, especially those who are disabled, whose only venue of socialization is their cell phone. There are many people who actually enjoy having access to all the world's knowledge at their fingertips. Bill Maher, maybe it is that the hopeless person is the one that can't understand that, but continue.
You think I'm out of it because I'm not on Twitch? Well, maybe I get Twitch, but I just think people watching other people play video games is a waste of fucking time.
And I love how his entire audience is just laughing there. Just laughing, an absolute maelstrom. And I see that there was a drink just redeemed by Blue Cat Shadow, so I will take care of that. But past that, everybody there is clapping and super happy, and oh my gosh, wow, he's such a visionary. Can I just say this? Maybe it's that I'm on Twitch. Maybe it's that I've been doing streaming and everything for a living. But I don't see a functional difference between watching somebody stream a video game and literally any other form of entertainment. For instance, somebody's playing a video game. I can be just as invested in that as I am in a sports team. I can be just as invested in that as I am in any kind of movie. If you are to make the argument that watching somebody on Twitch is a waste of time, you would have to extend that argument to every single form of media that has ever been produced. Because at the end of the day, you have a category that this media sits in, which is largely personal entertainment. So all fiction has to be thrown in that category. Oh, but maybe you can throw out the, well, when it comes to movies, we actually can learn stuff from them, but you can learn stuff from streamers as well. Somebody playing a video game on Twitch may be a philosophy major and may be able to actually tell you, as they're playing through BioShock, the different pitfalls of Ayn Rand's ideology as they go through the various iterations of Rapture as they are engaging in their playthrough. Say they've read The Fountainhead or Atlas Shrugged, and they start contextualizing a lot of Andrew Ryan's decisions in that universe. That is something that you gain and you learn and can learn from a streamer. You also gain socialization, not just the parasocial relationship with the person on the other end of the screen. I mean, you, dear viewer, are currently watching me as represented by an anime cat girl wiggling my ears. So let's go ahead and ignore all that for a minute and just talk about the different people in the chat that you can end up making friends with. Oh, but don't worry. We're not just going to end at Bill Maher's positions on video games. Let's instead take a trip down memory lane with Bill Maher. Okay? Maybe we should take a trip down memory lane and see what other stuff he said. If maybe there's some other opinions that we could take a look at, contextualize, and maybe even have a full-on discussion about. So, Bill, hit me with another one.
I do understand the theory of inoculation. Yes, you give someone a little bit of the disease and it fools your body into providing antibodies which fight it. Brilliant, bravo. Maybe there are some occasions where an inoculation is a wise thing to do. I hope not. I hope I would never have to have one because, you know, to present it just as this genius medical advancement, no, it's actually a risky medical procedure that begs long-term cost-benefit analysis. I mean, if you don't believe me, look on the CDC website as to what is in the swine flu vaccine. You know, aluminum, insect repellent, formaldehyde, mercury. Yeah. You know, that's right on their website. Don't take it from a talk show host.
Okay, so let's go ahead and contextualize everything that's in that vaccine. So, when we're talking about mercury, we are talking, back when mercury was used as a preservative in vaccines, we are talking about a substance that was used in such trace amounts that your body would effectively be able to flush any amount that was in there. It caused no harm to your body. When it comes to insecticide, you're not going to find insecticide on the CDC website. You may find an actual chemical name, which of course you failed to provide, Bill. You know, back then, this is during the swine flu pandemic. This is back when I was in school. So maybe we should have a conversation about what a poison is. A poison is something that you intake a certain amount of, and it is either dangerous or lethal. However, every substance can be poisonous. Every single one. It all depends on the dosage. Water can poison you if you take too much. Don't believe me? Take somebody who's 110 pounds, let them drink a gallon of water, they will be dead before the day is over, in most cases. There are other poisons that it takes only trace amounts to actually kill you with, and there are even more poisons where it takes higher and higher dosages to either cause a harmful effect or a lethal effect on an individual. When we are talking about things like, say, insecticide sprays, while they are dangerous, especially if consumed in large amounts, if we take the words you've said exactly as they are, we have to also accept the fact that insects are smaller than us. I'm not saying go guzzle insecticide, unless, of course, you're a Nazi. That could be a very pleasant pastime for you if that's the case. But if you are to deal in something like insecticide, that is something that is meant to kill an insect that is incredibly small, infinitely smaller than you. If you ingest it, it could hurt you a lot, but the damage it will do to you is significantly smaller than the damage it does to the smaller insect. Now, if we have a trace amount, like an amount used for the purposes of recreating the effects of a virus, or the purposes of, in most of these cases, being a preservative, those trace amounts, generally speaking, are not in such high quantities that your body can even register that it's there. It's enough for your body to see that a thing has entered, but not enough for it to identify that a problem has even begun over and above the virus that you've already injected yourself with, in the case of viral inoculations. Now, you can argue that, oh, this isn't such a great medical advancement, but prior to the ability to inoculate ourselves from disease, we had to deal with outbreak epidemics of things like smallpox. We had to deal with polio. We had to deal with all kinds of stuff, and if you don't know the history of vaccinations, I have a very old Dangers of Woo episode about anti-vaxxers where I go into the entire history of vaccinations and how they came to be. So, I think we should definitely take Bill Maher's advice and not listen to the talk show host. Hell, don't listen to me. Go actually fucking research vaccines so that you don't say dumb shit like Bill Maher. But we're going to continue our trip down memory lane. We're going to continue to see what other types of things he was injecting into the brains of his viewers. Avian says, I miss Dangers of Woo. Avian, a new Dangers of Woo episode came out literally 2 weeks ago. Literally 2 weeks ago. I should do it more often, yes, but the show's not dead. I revitalized it. I brought it back.
Rule. I don't care that your phone takes pictures. It's a phone, not a Swiss Army knife. Great, now the annoying camera buff and the annoying cell phone prick can merge as one guy. Hey, if you could figure out how to make that camera phone play country western music real loud, we could call it a perfect storm of assholes.
Well, as it turns out, it does play country music very loud. Now, I know that the majority of that is meant as a comedy skit, so I'm not going to actually dunk on that in any amount that's even necessary, because it's not. Largely what's happening here is he's engaging in what we would very politely say is boomer humor, where insert thing is new and I do not understand it, and that is the beginning and the end of the joke. Now, give me 30 years? Hey, maybe even 20, maybe 10, maybe 5, maybe I'm older than I think. And I'm sure there's going to be something that I'm gonna not understand, and me violently not understanding it is going to be the only joke I have left. Over and above my life, but don't worry, when I die, that joke expires with me. Bill Maher, let's continue to talk about things that you've said. Let's continue to look at the things that you've said about, say, social networks. Because, you know, I mentioned the issue with people on their phones being able to engage with other individuals, especially people who are disabled, who wouldn't have that ability to socialize otherwise. But let's go ahead and crap on the entire idea of social networks. Come on, Bill.
New rule.
Never
Stop
look
giving
a
me
toad
that
in the
pop-up
eye.
ad for classmates.com. There's a reason you don't talk to people for 25 years.
Yeah, usually it's because their names are Bill Maher, generally speaking. That said, I actually have never gotten any benefit from classmates.com, so, you know, here we're actually going to agree with him. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. That said, thank you very much, NekoGirl5781, for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You don't particularly like them.
Never look a toad
Besides, I
in
already
the
know
eye.
what the captain of the football team is doing these days. Mowing my lawn.
So, I don't know if the joke at this point is just that, again, I think I know what the joke is. Again, it's literally, new thing is here, and I do not understand it, therefore I do not like it, therefore blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, though, there is at least some merit to that kind of humor, in that it's relatable. Now, the anti-vax stuff, the stuff about Twitch, that stuff I have a little more issue with than the stuff on social networks or talking about flip phones, because there's a divide between I'm being serious and I'm trying to be humorous. But again, if the only joke that you've got boils down to the what about airline food type of humor, then I just don't get you. And I think that's going to have to be the butt of my joke. And if you don't find it funny, well, I learned from the best. That said, thank you very much, Gaming Yoshi, for the follow. With all that said, hopefully this has been a more lighthearted topic than the one that we covered just an hour before. For those who were on my stream, just an hour ago, we were covering the racist goat furry with smelly feet. So at least Bill Maher is a much less toxic brand of annoying. That said, if you enjoy my work and what I do, please consider supporting me over on Patreon. Please check the links in the description of this video for other ways that you can support my channel. Please follow me over at Twitch. You can go to twitch.tv/NekoSuris in order to do so. If you are on Twitch right now and you haven't hit the follow button, maybe you should consider doing that. That would be really cool. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you are watching this on YouTube. And as always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here.